Episode of Random Guy Art Night on the 999 ASMR Visual Textures Tarot program. But actually, it's ASMR Tarot, and the type of ASMR is visual textures. Visual textures. And hopefully, this microphone that I have plugged in to the camera is working. So, we're just going to do some experiments here. Experiments using stencils and paper. I think I'm going to just lay some colors down on this paper. We'll use some watercolor brushes. Watercolor brushes. I'm going to add just a little water onto the surface. A constellation of water. Well, water, these are acrylic paints that I am thin down acrylic paints. And the colors I'm using are primary cyan, fluorescent magenta, yellow oxide, hunter green, and fluorescent yellow. And of course, titanium white. I hope I can be heard. I'm using a new microphone setup right now. And so for you listening in, if you could just say hello in the chat and see if my microphone is working. You're not there anymore. Okay, that's fine. So we're just going to lay a little water down on here. Well, hello, USA. Can you hear me? The last time I plugged a microphone in on my Android phone that I'm doing this show on, okay, great. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I hope that it sounds good. I hope the sound is good because thank you, Y2 Guna GBs. Thank you very much for coming in, and thank you, USA, for coming in to Random Guy Art Night. So we're just doing Bob Marley voice type. Captain Falcon, thank you. Thank you, guys. I don't know why I chose that voice. Sometimes, it is, maybe it's because I have some allergy issues today. Add in Andy Hoffman, welcome. I'm not sure. I'm just tonight I'm just having some fun right tonight. And that's what we're doing. I'm going to lay down some random oil outside. You have bad allergies, yeah. I have asthma, and the air quality hasn't been also that wonderful. Yeah, well, this is a watercolor brush, and I'm painting with acrylics. And I'm going to just lay down some color here, and then I'm going to go over it with some stencils after this. So just putting some color down, and I should probably give it a little dry. Neva Bear, welcome. No, I haven't smoked in 12 years. I quit smoking 12 years ago. I'm going to add a little bit of, I'm going to dry this out just a little bit here. Thank you, USA, for subscribing. Just want to, Neva. Okay, Neva, welcome. I'll turn that off, and then we are going to add just some shapes here. Just some little shapes. I wanted to firm the colors up just a little bit before I start experimenting. We'll use this brush next, and we'll try some flat out titanium white. We're gonna just dab. My favorite sport is bowling. I like bowling. Oh, look at that. They come out a little bit fine there. Maybe we'll just add a little bit over here like that. I like the Summer Olympics. I like watching the Summer Olympics. I like that. Maybe we'll put some of this in here. Oh, Bob Marley, yeah. Except Bob Marley was like a big time stoner, and I'm like this big time Puritan. With the exception of alcohol, which I don't use anymore because of the diabetes. So what I'm going to do is set this aside, and I'm going to start something else. And let that dry, and then we're going to paint a big foreground on that. I think we'll just come over here and just do a random background. Just kind of a random background. Usually when you do watercolors and so forth, you want to tape. Oh, you want to tape down. Yeah, I live on a gravel road, so I was never able to do any of the skateboarding or scootering. But the biking, now the last time I went biking in my neighborhood, I ran across a mountain lion. I spooked a mountain lion in the road. And that thing was giant. It was a giant cat. And much bigger than any dog I'd ever seen. That kind of spoiled it for me. Giant cats in the road. So, some random colors. Maybe a little red. Just kind of mix it up. Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Sparky. Welcome. And for everybody who has liked and subscribed to my channel, thank you very much. I do a variety of arts and crafts, visual things. And I do, on an occasional basis, like last night, I did a tarot card flip through of a new deck, and I'm going to be doing my own collage tarot art in the coming months. And so I've done one. So what kind of tips are you looking for your art channel? I would just do a lot of experimentations. Art for the soul. just do things, experiment, and always keep pushing the boundaries. That looks pretty cool. So let's just do something on the foreground here. Those are my art tips. Let's see, is doing you broke it in football, and not another email. Yeah, you know what? I hardly ever use email anymore, and then it's like all you get is like spam in your email box. And so I think that this stuff is almost dry, but I need to give it just another minute or two. But you're really, really small. You know, we are as big as we are inside. That's what I believe. And so we're going to just come over here. I'm going to take my colors over here and do just some, maybe not this brush. I don't think this is the brush I want to use now. So you're 4'9". Huh. Are you like Filipino or something? Not that not. 4'9". You know, I know. Oh, okay. You're in the 7th grade. I get you. Well, you know, there's plenty of room to grow. But then again, I had when I did accounting work a long time ago, my assistant was like 4 foot, was in that 4 foot category. She was like 30 years old at that time, and so I think she was like 4'10" or something like that. Okay, Nick Cash. Thanks for the information. That's exactly what we all wanted to know. And Omar, you're 2 feet 3 inches. When you grow up, you're going to be tall. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, you know what? YT Goon Jabijis. My one of my nephews grew between the time he's almost 7 feet tall. He's almost 7 feet tall, but when he grew after he graduated from high school, another couple inches. You're coming over to paint too next week, Nick Cash. Yeah, are you like? Do you like Johnny Cash, Nick Cash? I used to sing. When I used to sing karaoke, I used to sing a lot of Hank Williams Sr. I like the Hank Williams Sr. This is a nice background. I like that. Johnny Cage. I once saw the great grandson of Hank Williams, play in concert. I think it was called Hank 3 was what he was traveling under, the title that he was traveling under, and he played 3 sets, and the first set was like neoclassical country music. Thank you for subscribing. The second set was like a cross between punk and country music, and then the third set was thrash metal. And his music wasn't all that wonderful. I mean, it wasn't that great, but it was so novel. The whole experience was extremely novel, and so I was really impressed by the show that they put on and everything. And so what I'm doing is in doing this tree, I'm using this really long brush here, and I'm using it to do a side motion in order to make a tree. So in case you ever want to go and try this at home, there is a lot of practice that you got to do, because this is something, painting is something that anybody can learn. I've only been painting since 2016. That's when I started painting. And so it's almost 10 years. But there is a lot of just practice. It's tons. No, actually, Nick Cash. I do remember when Elvis died. I was a little tiny kid when Elvis died. I remember hearing it on the radio. I think it was Elvis. No, maybe it was one of the Beatles. I think it was one of the Beatles. I was going to my grandmother's house in Seaside, Oregon. I was coming home and heard it on the radio. It's starting to take some shape here. But Elvis Presley, huh? Let's go add a little titanium white over here to this and try to cream out one of these colors so I can bring it down a shade before I go and add this fluorescent yellow to it. And yeah, there we go. We're just kind of adding these different colors to bring out the fullness here. And so this is just sort of practice. It's always good to be. That's not good, yeah. My passion, painting is one of my passions. My passion is for spoken word poetry. But I like the artistic process, because I've been doing poetry for the longest. And that's, I like audio performing, so using different voices and trying to be more. I mean, I'm using that. I'm not like one of those actors who does, an animation, and that those people are just at a level of voice acting that's like, well, way above mine. And I do like painting and stuff like that. Yeah, so right now what I'm doing is I'm working on my Christmas card designs, and I'm just kind of building the layers of the colors in here so that it will start to look good. Well, hello, Amanda, welcome to my stream. You've been very busy lately, I've seen. And I got an extra day off today because the internet was out for 10 hours today. And so we're going to put this on here, a little bit of this. And let's go in and add this fluorescent yellow on the top of it here. On on September 9th, that'll be my 24-month anniversary of this channel. And I think I might have like maybe I was thinking it would be nice to do a question and answer show, but I haven't, because every YouTuber does one of those shows on occasion. But I don't know. I'm not really that into celebrating myself. Unless it's celebrating my birthday, that's a different time. What time it is for me is 11:42 p.m. Pacific time. I'm on the Pacific coast. I live 20 miles right off or 25 miles from the Pacific Ocean, and right in the mountains, right in the heart of the mountains of the Pacific of the Coast Range. It's really beautiful where I live, but it's a major pain in the arse when it comes to like grocery shopping and stuff like that, because the nearest the grocery stores are 25 miles away from me. If I want like a dozen of eggs that doesn't cost $10 a dozen, or a block of cheese that doesn't cost $15 for a pound. So it's 1:42. You must be Central Time. So are you in like Colorado area, Y2 Goonabees, or are you um like in like the Idaho like band? No, actually Idaho is 1 hour advanced. So you're like Central Time. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, if I want reasonable price produce and stuff, then I have to drive 25 miles, three different ways. So, but it's really remote. I see more animals than I see people. So here we go. This is starting to come up, and it's becoming just a bit more coming alive here, and that background's really nice too. Maybe it's kind of like this northern. So you're close to Colorado. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Yeah. Amanda, you're just doing a lot of an amazing amount of work here. It's kind of addicting to do these live streams. Do I want to go up another color here, fill in, or do I want to do something else? I think I might want to I think I want to take some of this primary cyan and build another color here, another toned down kind of a green thing. I think that's what I want to do. It needs one more color. So you're not so close to Colorado, but you're in that neck of the woods. Oh, I was just thinking of like the center of the country is like yeah. Flying ducks, Zed the Alchemist. Well, I might try something here. I am just doing some experimentations here. Wait, I should bring back my Bob Marley voice, but I seem to have lost it. My voice is a little gravelly tonight. Yeah. I'm just gonna put in a little bit more here. Let's just suck it up under there so you can see it a little bit better. Just more green. Different layers. Just bring up the layers and come back in with this fluorescent yellow, and then we'll just kind of blend right on here. I think that's pretty good like that. You wish you lived in, I don't even know now. Eyebrow, would you greet me? I'm query cap jabba. I can't read very well. I got these brand new. The tree needs a friend. Well, you know what? How about um how about I will paint a friend for the tree. Okay, I know what I'll do. It may not be pretty, but I'll do it. Let me put this over here, and I'm going to go pull out another brush, and we're going to use some black, and we will do it more silhouetted. This silhouetted kind of an S creature. An S creature, I think. And it's a abstract bird. Let me just get a little bit more water in this brush so that I can get some good lines. I don't want it to be too gloopy. So what we'll do is, let's see. We'll put this little creature here. Comes in like that. And, you know, it's not realistic, but, you know, it's fine because the point of these things is just to have fun. And we're just going to have some fun here. Central Time, okay. A little more of the black, water down. Making sure that we don't put too much on here. And maybe it's got some feathers like this. And I'm going to put in a little segment up here. Well, thank you. You know, I have gotten that comment about being calm and relaxing since my 20s. And it's been, and then I was like told a long time ago that I had like this radio voice. And so I've always wanted like doing things with that. It took a long time to get the confidence enough to do anything with my voice. But that's neither here nor there. So we have this little creature, and so you're really hyper. Yeah, I have my grandniece is pretty hyper too. She's like going into the first grade this year, but she has she's a cancer survivor. She was born with cancer, and has a lot of. He had 3 rounds of NPC. Your local raccoon lover. What's an NPC? Speak to me like I'm an old person and I don't know anything. So you can be hyper or you can be super calm. Yeah. My father was pretty hyper. Non-player character? Non-player character. What does that mean? I don't know. I don't understand what that means. So I'm gonna come in and you're asking everyone this. Well, you know, your local raccoon lover. Just before I turned on my stream, I got a nighttime visitor out in the side lot, which may have been a raccoon or it may have been a possum. I get the raccoon comes every now and then, and let's just put some little things on here that might look like a raccoon with a silver moon. You know, I'm gonna put a moon in here. It's not gonna be a silver moon, but I think peeking up out here. Some live outside your New York house or your house. Yeah. Yeah. There's a raccoon that makes a round on like every month. It comes around it visits the houses in the neighborhood. Welcome, cow. I'm probably not pronouncing. I can't pronounce anything right because the nature of my neurodivergency is audio processing disorder, and so it's really hard for me to pronounce words and things that I have not yet first heard in an audio sense. And so please forgive me if I butcher your channel name. It's not really my intention to do that. And so we're going to add in just some other colors that's fluorescent. Let's clean off my brush here. All right, I'll call you Goon. Wasn't there a well, thank you. I don't know if that's necessarily all that true, but I am trying my best to be the best artist that I can. And I really enjoy doing these live streams like this. And let's put some blue down on it. I need some blue bulbs. A lot of it, Raccoon Lover, is that it's just a lot of practice. It's just a lot of practice. And I'll tell you an origin story as far as art is concerned, is that painting is something that I wanted to do for years and years and years. I wasn't very good at it, or, at anything, like when I was like in high school art. And I had it in my mind that you had to be able to do like sketching and drawing first. Yeah. When you that you had to know how to sketch and draw and do those things first before you could do painting. But this one day I woke up and says, I just want to paint. So I started painting, and I still not very good at like drawing and doing sketching and stuff like that. But it doesn't matter. I don't care to be. Maybe I might pick that skill up, but it's not that important to me. So I just concentrate on what is important to me. And so what I'm trying to say to you is, if you want to learn something like some art or whatever it is, and you just go and start learning it. You watch a bit of Bob Ross. Yeah, I like Bob Ross. Bob Ross is my painter hero. I love to watch Bob Ross. So when you're hyper, you have to paint or do board games, so you can't focus. Yeah. Yeah. You know what, Goon? As far as like focusing is concerned, there was a young man that I met a long time ago, when he was just like a little short shrimp guy. I think he was probably like 7 years old or something like that. He's like almost 30 now. And he was pretty hyper, but his mother never put him on anything like any Ritalin or any of those drugs. And instead she did an extremely strict diet with him. And then, yes, I love South Park. I've watched I haven't watched South Park in the last couple of years, but I've watched lots of South Park and lots of Beavis and Butthead. But so this kid is now, when he graduated from high school, he was like one of the smartest kids in his class. Like and he got a double two major degrees and two different engineering engineering degrees. And so what I'm trying to say is when you're hyper like that or you have trouble focusing, that it is possible to achieve great things in your life. And so to not let, because you're probably like super smart too. But anyways, my favorite South Park episode, well, there's that one series called Imagination Land. And so I sometimes call my episodes here Imagination Land and heading into Imagination Land. And after my dad died, I couldn't deal with life, but the South Park really kind of helped me through that process. Yeah. My favorite South Park character is Kyle. And then I also like Butters too. Butters is really kind of funny. I was like watching that one episode. It was I don't I think they called it my favorite. Yeah, it was like Butters. But then a lot of those episodes I don't really want to talk about them here because I don't want to get like YouTube banned or anything like that. So let's put a little fence in here. Maybe the fence is on the other side of the bird. When they joined the Crips, yeah, that was funny. Yeah, well, there was that one, where Cartman has the sea the sea creatures, the sea monkeys, and then they form the sea monkeys and then yeah, the sea monkey one. That one's pretty funny. Let's just do like a fence here. I think I need to darken that up a bit to make it more. All right, Goon. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming into my stream and supporting my channel. And I'm going to be doing some more streams tomorrow. Probably I'm going to do a paper mache scene stream tomorrow night around this time. I'm going to probably try to start as close to 11 o'clock as possible. And then I am going to do something as close to noon as I can do. And I'm not sure what it's going to be. I'm probably going to do some working on my tarot collage. Oh, that emo goth, that was a great one too. That one was a great one. I mean, there was a lot of them. Then there's the smoking one that was kind of funny with Rob Reiner. Yeah, the smoking episode. I'm gonna just tone down this. Yeah. Oh, I don't remember because I don't remember Cartman did, but I do remember that episode of going to the Hot Topics, and and that's where they became goth. That's where they became vampires, was in the Hot Topics, and yeah, that was funny. Yeah. Yeah, the Hot Topic. Then there was that whole boy band stuff. When everybody's like breaking out in dance or something like that. Yeah. Then was that the metrosexual episode where everybody was metrosexual or something like that? And then yeah, here we go. Adding some black to that yellow oxide, it kind of makes it. It gives it a kind of a greenish, and I'm just going to put like a fence or something in here. Your outdoor have like an outdoor Christmas tree. I love these brushes because you can do a lot of stuff with these brushes. Where, as like if it was Bob Ross, he would be using a palette knife to do this. But at this point in time, because I paint so small, the palette knife doesn't seem to work for me as for painting that small. So I'm going to put this bird on the other side of the fence. So I probably should have put, but that's okay. It's on the other side of the fence. I'm going to put in a fence post coming down here. Another one over here. So you can kind of see the bird. Up here, like that. And maybe it kind of goes over here like this. Kind of in over there. You know, it doesn't have a thing on every rung there. Randy, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things in those episodes you just can't even talk about, you know, because they're so raunchy. My old mom, who's like, I look after her. She's in her mid-80s, and she likes the South Park too. And there's with the old people that are driving and to the country kitchen or something like that. So, of course, this is not really a fence that you'd ever see in nature or in anything like that. But it doesn't really matter because we're in imagination land right now. And I wonder if I'll have to do that later. Now, we're going to just clean these brushes off so I don't like ruin my brushes by leaving paint on them. That's one of the things that you gotta, when you paint, is you got to remember to do this. And brushes are pretty expensive, and so you really don't want to lose your brushes because you forgot to take the paint off of them. So we're gonna go back in here and take some of this white, and maybe I'm gonna put a moon back here. Maybe it's a moon during the day, just kind of up there, a little full moon over there. We need to add some more paint to it. Get it to work up there. I don't want it to get gloopy. It's really gloopy now, but let's see if we can make it ungloopy. And so, now we're just going to go in here, and I'm going to come up here and take some of this titanium white, and we're just going to put some snow on the ground. Nice snowbird. Come to visit. Maybe a little bit of a snow drift, and he's got some snow on the top here of the top of the fence. Over here, a little snow. Well, Amanda, welcome. Welcome, and thank you for just popping in for a few minutes. Yeah, I really appreciate your support. There we go. I'm just going to build up a whole bunch of snow right down here on the base of it. It's really thick and heavy, unlike what we were doing by trying to mimic and use it like watercolors. And when you do try to use like watercolors, you gotta like tape down you gotta tape the paper down to a board or something, because otherwise the paper will buckle. And so as you can see, I'm kind of using like some dabbing motions here, just some dabbing motions, because then it gets a more it has this more like it just feels just a bit more real, even though we're not really going for realism here. It's not really we're just kind of going to get this, just a thought that maybe something you might see, maybe you don't see. It doesn't really matter. And so there we go. We might add another layer of, the snow on the fence does make a big deal. It's a huge deal. And the sky is just this is like a northern light sky or something like that. Maybe it's the sky after the sunset, but it's really up to your imagination to fill in what we're looking at here. I'm venturing to guess that this is right in the middle of the day. Santa's sleigh could be in the distance. Yeah, it could be. It could be just coming right around the corner. Yeah. Maybe we'll add something else into the sky that makes it seem as though it is indeed a daytime picture with the moon, because the moon is, we often see the moon in the sky during the middle of the day. That's not an unusual sight. So, but because of not wanting to screw this up, I'm going to use this Sharpie here, and we're going to put into it some little things, like it could be a bird, just a bird over there flying in. That one actually doesn't look very good, but the one thing you want to do is, once you get a little painting done, the thing that you don't want to do is screw up your painting by adding too many details or doing it wrong. So there we have a couple birds flying in. Maybe it's this guy's friend coming in just to go look at something that's clear over there. Maybe some over here. Let's see if I can do it without getting any paint on me. There. It's off on the side. Maybe it's a UFO. UFO's in the distance. Oh no, I got paint on me. Here we go. Just another one over there. Just a little faint one. Maybe one that's like just a dot. I got the paint on me again. And so here we go. White paint has a face in it. So I think the other one is sufficiently dry enough now that I can use it like a foreground, paint a foreground on it. Yeah, it is. So I'm going to move this whole thing back off onto the side. I'm going to move it down onto the side over here. Wait, no. This thing onto the side. That's what we're going to do. And we're just going to put something on the foreground now. And since we're just doing trees, we'll just do another tree of some kind, but maybe a bigger one. It's doing Christmassy wintertime thing practice. Gotta think about what am I gonna do here. I think I'm going to make that green, even though I have green over here. I'm gonna make a green using this primary cyan mixed with this oxide yellow. It's kind of gloopy here. I need to add some water to it just to thin it down a bit. Yeah, so we're just going to be doing trees tonight. And if I can show you, this is something I painted I think 2 weeks ago. And I'm going to do a permanent painting like this. I have another practice one, but I'm going to put this on a piece of clay board. It's like I don't know, I think it's like an 18 by 12 by 18 or something like that size. And so I'm going to mix down a darker color. I want to make sure that it has, maybe it's like a color you might see in nature, but we better add some titanium white to it just to, and this is going to be the undercoat that's going to go down in the tree. And so this would be what you would see. So if you look at a tree, and depending on where the light is, you would see a dark color like this under it all. And so you want to get a sense of where the light is and where the light isn't. And so you start with the darker color in the back. It's mainly when you do these trees is you want to spend a hell of a lot of time just looking at nature and just looking at where the light is. And I'm still learning in that process of learning how to do that. And so Bob Ross was a master painter, and he just could see all of that in his head. But then again, Bob Ross, I believe, lived in Alaska. But I live in a place that's surrounded by trees too. So, because I live in the coastal mountains on the West Coast. And so we're going to just kind of start the tree up here, and I'm going to bring it down. I don't want to do too much of that, but this it'll be fine when it comes towards the end and we do my little strokes of I'm going to be careful on when you do this to make sure that you don't make any mistakes that can't be fixed. So that's kind of the thing that you got to watch out for, is that. And then also when you do this stuff, you want to try and not make things too symmetrical. That's the other thing, because trees aren't symmetrical. People like to make things symmetrical, but that's just our fault. That's the fault of the mind. So we're just going to build up color and build it up and just kind of some dabbing motions. And where I put the sun at, well, you know where I'm going to put the sun at, but Zeld, is the sun is going to be be looking in. The sun is behind you in this picture. And then, so which means is that the highlights on the front, the highlights will be on the front, and on the front layer, that's where our highlights are going to be at. So, and it's kind of funny when I do like, I'm going to do a wildfire. I need to do another wildfire skies. Because, a few years ago, I was painting wildfire skies. Because we had a massive wildfire on, God, what was that, 2020 in the fall? And it was like whole towns just an hour drive away from my house got burned down to the ground. Whole towns burned to the ground. And then there was like then about 10, 15 miles away from where I live, there were like this whole area they were really close to like within like 5 to 10 miles of the ocean, and they caught on fire too. And yeah, I think this is going to look pretty good for a practice. And was like a whole RV park, mobile home park that burned to the ground, and you could smell the smell of that of those manufactured homes as they were melting down, and the fumes were just toxic. You couldn't really even go outside. I was lucky I had N95 masks. I had bought those for like, not because of the COVID, but I'd bought them for wildfire preparedness. And so here we come. I think this is starting to shape up. Okay, we got this other green. We're just going to add in some of this other green on the page. It looks like I'm not going to be using up all of my paint here. That's unfortunate. But maybe I have something else I can just add that paint to when we're done. And those are some sparkles, those little sparkles. I think that's what Bob Ross would call it. And we'll have these little sparkles on the front. I certainly hope that the use of this microphone gives good sound. It would be nice if I could use that other mic, but that one, I need to get a computer again, and I don't know if I am a different camera setup altogether to use that mic, or the other mics that I have for that matter. Peter Griffin, welcome to, what am I calling this thing? Random Guy Art Night? Yeah. Welcome to Random Guy Art Night. Visual textures. I think that looks pretty cool. Looks pretty good. It almost looks like it's real or something. All right. And we're gonna add in. We'll just add in. Gotta use some of this color up here. Let's just put it in over here. Mix it down. Mix it down. Mix here. Add some more water. A little bit more of this blue. You know, it'll just be another layer that adds into it. I guess because last night I got some criticism for my sound being terrible. But you know, maybe that was the case. So, but I don't want my sound being terrible. So we're gonna come in here and bring that color in. Bring in this color, just kind of bring the randomness of it to it. Just little dabs. Getting it to blend in. A little bit more water. Yeah, I think those stencils that I use in the back, I think that looks pretty cool actually. And we're going to come back in and I'm going to bring in another color, yellow. Just a little bit of that, some primary yellow. And stay. I guess we'll put it here. It'll stay here. A little bit of primary yellow and a little bit of this kind of yellow. I love these bright colors. And I'm just going to put a dab on my palette. That was more than a dab that I wanted to use. I guess I'm not going to use any primary yellow. That's okay. We don't have to use primary yellow at all in this. So let me just mix this yellow over here into these other colors that are here. And a little more of that. Gonna mix it in here. Just put a bunch more of this stuff in here. Mix it down. And then mix a nice color green. And more like that. There we go. A little more water. And we'll just mix it. Mix it. And then now I'm really all gloopy on the brush. I don't want it to be gloopy on the brush. So I'm going to take off some of this color. And just take off some of the color. It would be nice if I could do that whole Bob Ross, let's just beat the hell out of this brush kind of a thing. But we're not painting big, we're painting small. And there's not beating the hell out of the brush is not something that's going to be happening on this program. Maybe when I do my when I paint bigger outdoors, that can happen. A little bit of beating the hell out of the brush. Because I have a brush like that. My blender brush, this is my blender brush for when I paint big. And I do have another brush like that I use. But yeah, anyways. And then also Bob Ross painted with oils, and I'm painting with acrylics. A water-based paint. And you see how that color on here just kind of brings out a lot of these nice textures here. And you can see where the light is. The light is kind of in front here. And I can actually add a little bit of black to this and tone it down and add some, or I can add a little of this blue over here, which I think I might do that. We can tone this down a bit by adding some primary cyan. It's kind of gloopy. It's getting really dry. So it looks real. Thank you. I'm trying. Just adding layers of color add those layers of color, and it adds to the dimensionality of it. You can trick the mind into thinking that this two-dimensional thing is actually a three-dimensional thing. And just little dabs of color. It's best to try to maintain some randomness of your brush strokes, because in nature there is a randomness, and so like with doing skies and doing things like that, clouds and skies, having a randomness to your action, that really just helps out a lot. At least that's what I find. And then, if you were, painting on your own, I mean, generally when I paint, I will listen. When I'm not doing the show, when I paint, I'll listen to like Nightwish, which is like goth metal goth, or I will listen to shoegazer music, something that's really like zone out, gets you that. It kind of helps you to, you're going out into a zone, and so it's trying to achieve like a just a zoned out state of mind, and you do it through music, and you do it through not thinking when you're painting. You have a vision in mind, what you want to do before you start, but when you start it, you want to completely bypass thinking and do it stream of consciousness, and just go directly to stream of consciousness. So you do something in order to get into that zone, and music is a great way to do that, and frequency music or whatever it is that you like. And so here we go. Here I'm gonna come up a color, a lesson for people playing clarinets. Welcome, Elizabeth. Welcome, Elizabeth, and welcome. Yeah. Thank you for coming in. Yeah. And so we're gonna come up. The final layer I'm gonna do is just come up and do some straight of that fluorescent yellow, and that's our showing where the light is just sort of shining in, and there. Then maybe we'll add a little bit of titanium white on it for like snow or something like that. Or maybe make it like a Christmas tree, something like that. And so we got some nice bright sun coming in. One of the things that's kind of that I recommend doing is, it's really hard, but it's something that when you are painting these things repetitively, doing it more, doing it often, is to try not to use a reference photograph, to try to build everything out of your imagination. And it's like one of my friends who's a writer. I have a lot of writer friends but he had a coach that was helping him to rewrite a novel, and the guy advice to him is to rewrite your novel, but rewrite it from memory, and not go back and reread it and then rewrite it. And so I don't know if that's really was sound advice, but I try to do that when I paint, is to, even though I have things that I would like to recreate, but you can never really recreate something that you do, because some people can, but a lot of times people can't do that. And maybe in time, maybe that's just a skill that when I've been painting for 20 years, if I, God willing, that I get to live 20 more years, that would put me into like my mid 70s, you know, and if I'm at sound mind, you know, at that age, God willing, that maybe at that time I would be able to repeat more. And we're going to bring up another color. And just put some white highlights like it was snow. Now, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I'm not going to put like Christmas ornaments on it, but I could do that. We're going to just put this down in here, down on the bottom. And some tips. You know, I'm not like, these are just things that I've come to see as I get older, or because I've been doing this for a while. I'm in no means like some big guru or something like that, because ultimately, when you're painting, you got to find your own way. And that's the same like when you're writing. If you're writing poetry or doing anything, you're finding your own story and being open to your own story. And that, you know, you don't try to, in the beginning, you may do a lot of mimicking and mimicking your heroes, your literary heroes or your painter heroes, and doing stuff like that. But ultimately, you want to come into a place where you are finding yourself and finding yourself. And so, happy accidents. Starlinks, yeah, welcome, Starlinks. Welcome. Point and shoot, welcome. Happy accidents. Yeah. I'm just going to put some of this white on here. A little bit here and there. Thank you. This is just a practice piece. Well, Peter Griffin, I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully my internet will not go off like it did today. I was without internet for 10 hours. And not just me, my neighbors, and there was a whole blackout for this area, internet blackout. And it wasn't just internet, it was cable TV and line phone and everything else. And so here we come. We got this in here. Maybe a little, no, you know, I'm going to leave those things in the background like that. Maybe we come up and do, yeah. So I'm going to try to pop on around noon tomorrow. That's noon Pacific time, as I am on the West Coast, not Alaska, but I'm writing on the West Coast, Oregon. I'll just say it, I'm in Oregon time. I'm going to try to come on around, it'd probably be as late as 12:20 would be the latest. And let's see what we'll do over here. Maybe we can construct some other kind of a color using this black and not have to go after anything else here. And so thank you very much for everyone for liking and for subscribing to my channel who have done that. I really appreciate your support. I am trying to make it to 800 subs by the end of the week. probably not possible, but I'm still trying. I'll make this kind of a green fence. All right. I kind of like that idea of just having this fence in here. Kind of having some irregularities. I need to add some more black to that. Maybe it's black. There. Just have it blend right into here. There we go. So I'm not too regular. Let's put that over here so you can see that I'm actually using it. Gonna move it back into here, get it. I want to just kind of tone it down into some grayish color. Maybe it's been painted green at one time. There we go. Maybe this board is kind of a little bit loose like that. Take that over here, one of these other. Oh, you know, we have some of this color left. Why don't we add that red into it? It'll just brown it down. I forgot about that. It's been a long day today, too. Kind of just in here, some darker colors. There we go. It's been painted a lot of different colors. We all gone to sleep. We'll just kind of... There we go. Let's bring it down. Maybe it comes down like this. Irregular. You know, bring it some life to it. And there we go. One of the posts kind of coming up this way. And maybe come back in here. We can grab some of that greenish tones and just bring it in there. There. Irregular. It's just an irregular shape thing, but it's fine. It's back in there. Add to the life of this piece. Got the stars in the background. Now I need to clean the water, the black off this brush, and we're going to, I'll just take another brush and add some more snow around onto this, onto the fence here. Then I'm gonna go back because the other one is almost dry enough, and I'm going to put a star on top of that tree before all of my paint dries up. And we can use this brush here, put a little water in there, and go back into this titanium white, load up the brush, and just kind of going up around it. Makes the snow a little dirty here, but that's okay. It's okay. It's in there. Snow's a little green. It's got this all these different colors, and it's going to lay in some color right on top, just on top here, kind of there. You can easily see this someplace. Just lay the color in. maybe a little on the front face of this. There, like that. Right over there. Out in the backyard. A little snow here. A little bit over here. There. Come there, and then over here. Here's a little more gloopier there. Just the little details, just to bring it, give it some life. And breathing life into your creation. It needs a little bit right over here too. Because that's a nice place for snow to rest. Snow's going to want to rest there too. All right. A little bit dirty. A little dirty snow. All right. Let's say this one is done, I think. It's done enough. But we might actually do a little bit more up here and build that in. Build this in, because I want to use up a little bit more of my paint. And it's got a little snow drift up here. A little bit of snow drift. And you'd see that. You see that in nature all the time. In your backyard, that tree in the backyard. There you go. There's your tree in the backyard. Stars are out. Stars are out at night. Nighttime tree. And you can just kind of imagine that that crispy, purpley sky that's near dusk. Or the night lights came on, and this is what you see when you look out your back door. The night lights come on, you think, oh, was that Mr. Raccoon that came in to take a look? Hello. Welcome. Tokalix Live XX. Welcome to an episode of Random Guy Art Night, a visual texture streaming paintings from beginning to end. Live, welcome. And I'm going to switch to a painting that I did just before here. This was the earlier one. I've been switching back and forth between two different paintings that I've been doing, and so I wanted to put a little tiny. I'm hoping that if I do this, it will not screw this up. I don't want to screw up my painting, but I want to put this. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm going to try and put a star on top of this and using this stencil here, but I'm hoping that I don't screw it up. That's the one thing. And I think the paint is dry enough right now that I can do this. And I think I'll run it this direction here. All right, now I will need to clean the paint out of these brushes first before I start doing this. Well, I think I probably would have started with the snowflakes before I began, like with the other one. And this one, yeah. But I think I want to do this one here. I'm going to do that. And I need a brush to do that with. I think we'll use this brush here. Oh, well, I am just well practiced. I just practice a lot. Just practicing, that's all. My paint is hard and dry. So maybe we can tone that down a bit. Add some white. Kind of blend it right onto it. How does that look? There we go. Hey, it looks like an airplane in the background. That's interesting. Maybe we have another one of these that's just kind of small. So what have you done to try to be an artist? Because you want to be an architect, kind of like Mr. Brady on the Brady Bunch. I wonder what we can do here. What happens here? Is this going to ruin my whole painting if I do this? But you know what? It's a practice painting, so I can do stuff like this in my practice paintings. Huh. Maybe it doesn't ruin the whole thing. Maybe we just do and add another little layer here. Kind of like that. It's like a bush. Yeah. Yeah, this I think works. I moved it just a little bit. There. Huh. You know, that's not half bad. That's not half bad at all. So, I think I might go and do a different color on that. So you did a rock, you painted a rock, and you did some sketches of some buildings and popular buildings, a place. So, and you won a competition when you were 7? Well, that's congratulations. That's great. That's great. Yeah. Yeah, I've never won anything before. Let's get that out. I think we're gonna do. You got a little trophy. Well, that's awesome. I'm just gonna use up my paint over here. And this might be a mistake, Liv, but maybe we'll just take over here. It's in text someplace, yeah. Let's just put this over here. Huh. Wow, this is fun. You know, these stencils are fun when you know how to use them. Let's put some over here. There. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of fun to use these things. Maybe put another one right up over here in that multicolor thing. And it gives a different kind of a translucent there. Huh. It's not bad. Top right corner. Okay. Top right corner, a star. With what paint I have left, it's not all dried up. Okay. Let's turn this around like this. And we'll put the star in here like this. Uh-oh. It's got a little bleed through. Well, you know what, Liv? You will need to go back and watch this on the replay. It will go, this video will post within like 15 minutes after I stop the stream, and you can go back in on the replay. And actually, you could probably even do it now before I do that, and just scroll it back. But if you want to, you can watch it on the replay at like 1.25. Just turn the speed up to like 1.25 or so, and then you can get through it fairly quickly, and you can see the process, or you can actually even do it double time. And for those who are watching in right now, and if you like my content, um, uh, be kind and support my channel. I do a lot of different kind of content, painting. Tomorrow night around 11 p.m. ish Pacific time, as in Pacific time is in line with Seattle, Oregon, and San Francisco. I will be doing a paper mache video, and I'm just about ready to. And so what I like to do towards the end of every video is I like to go into my little tiny tarot deck, because I do have tarot in my channel name, and just to see what the little tiny tarot has to say for us tonight. Hopefully it's something good. And it talks about the lovers, and the lovers are in this sense, the lovers of people who love art and are kind to one another. So it is telling us to be kind to one another, and to love, to be just lovers of nature and lovers of our natural world and of our neighbors and each other. So what we did today is two paintings, two little practice paintings, this one and this one, practicing some of the skills of side motion on how to use a brush, using some stencils, and mixing paints on the fly. And so for everybody who's tuned in tonight, I wanted to thank you all. Thank you, Liv. Thank you. Let me go back. Thank you, Peter Griffin. Thank you, Star Links. Thank you, Point and Shoot. Thank you, Elizabeth Hoffman. Thank you, Zell the Alchemist. Thank you, Tropical Empress and Spirit. Thank you, Goon. Thank you, Raccoon Lover. Who else? Did I miss anybody? Thank you, Tai Tai. Thank you, Tai Tai. Thank you, Moose Caloose. Who else? Thank you, Nick Cash. Thank you, Omar Gonzalez. Thank you, Craig Clive. Thank you, Sparky. Thank you, Not Another Email. Thank you, Art for the Soul. Thank you, Carbon. Thank you. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Russell. Thank you, USA. Thank you, Neva Bear. Thank you for everyone for liking my video, and thank you for subscribing and being a supporter. And come back tomorrow night when we will do some paper mache. I'll be tuning up some paper mache masks that I made on Sunday. And I have some paper mache glue that I need to use up before it goes bad. And I will probably try to do some kind of, I'm trying to do a tarot art. I'm working on my own tarot art cards and tarot art. And I will be painting paper with glue. I'm gonna try and do some gluing colored tissue paper on tracing paper to try to get a stained glass effect with paper. And anyway, that's what I'm going to do tomorrow afternoon. And thank you very much for being here, Liv, at the end. And have a great night. And I wish you a blessed day and rest of your week tomorrow. Bye-bye.